Go react.
Dun, 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 dun. Degeneration Alex! Merry Christmas! It is the Christmas edition of Hot Tag Reviews. I am Rob Campbell. I'm wearing a Christmas jumper because it's Christmas. Look at that. It says out of office. Definitely not out of office because I'm carrying two jobbers with me. And who are they? I'm alongside
Daniel Cornfield being buried by this Gansey wearing motherfucker.
And I'm just Jobber too.
Jobber 2. Jobber 2. Sponsored by Technical Difficulties, as always. That is Martin Holland, just in case you needed that clearing up, but you shouldn't do by this point. Here we are. And what have we got in store for you on this Hallows Christmas holiday? Well, the votes are in. They were all counted and verified. No bullshit here. No gimmicks needed. No spin of the wheel. The winner was... You edit in a drum roll. I can't be asked. WCW, because that's what we give you the choice of for WCW events. Starrcade 1997, which I was dead happy about, and also might have fixed it a little bit.
If you don't tell the fans, they won't notice. Oh shit, we're recording. Fuck.
Yeah. I don't want to make Martin's job harder, but you know, it is what it is. We are filming this on the 7th of December, so a little bit before the Christmas holiday. So recently, we did lose an absolute legend in the wrestling business. I just want to shout out to Pat Patterson and get the boys' thoughts on Pat. So, Dan, I'll start with you. Give me Pat Patterson gimmick.
The Pat Patterson gimmick. I mean, obviously, I think like most people of sort of our age, we only ever really knew him as a member of the Stooges. But then, like, sort of when you go back through history and find out his accomplishments in wrestling itself, you sort of takes you back a bit. It's like, wow. But yeah, big loss for wrestling in general. So yeah. That's all I'm going to have to say about it today.
All right, Forrest Gump. Cheers for that, mate. And and Martin.
That's all I got to say about that.
I'm going to drop that in so many times this episode. Now it's ridiculous. And Martin, what about you for Pat Patterson?
You know what's coming to my mind? You know, like, remember when we done the King of the Ring 98?
Oh, the evening game match.
And he done no, that was Royal Rumble, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That one you're on about?
I think it was King of the Ring 99, you know, where he did the evening game match with Gerald Briscoe.
What? Oh, yeah. No, not that one. We covered the 98 when Sable came out, because she was at the arena and she needed something to do.
Yeah.
And he smacked her ass.
Yeah, it was class.
And then JR made a comment like, oh, that's the first time that's ever happened, or something like proper referencing that he wasn't, like, he was homosexual.
Oh, yeah.
Like proper ribbing him like the boys, like. Yeah,
it was definitely an inside joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I can't put it any better than what I'm going to read, and this is a direct quote from Vince McMahon's Twitter. Follow that guy if you want. But Pat Patterson was more than the first Intercontinental Champion and father to the Royal Rumble match. He helped lay the foundation for WWE as we know it. His mentorship shaped careers, his creativity sparked innovation, and his friendship lifted spirits. Love you, Pat. We miss you. And I can't put it any better than that. Pat Patterson is an absolute legend, so pour one out to that guy. It's a change from the hard bottle that you were on last week, Don.
I'm just questioning whether that's actually like orange juice or is it avocado?
It's like orange and vodka. He's like hidden the vodka this week though.
I'm doing my impression of Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary.
And that's someone
Bobby,
that is someone we will talk about when we talk about WCW World Championship Wrestling presenting Starrcade 1997. It happened on the 28th of December 1997 in Washington, D.C., in what was then known as the MCI Center. We start off with a video package to open the event. Hogan and Sting, it's all very focused on them. It's awesome. Sting looks great. He's very, very Crow-like, isn't he? He looks like an absolute boss. Is the best way I can put that. I actually had goosebumps watching the intro. I genuinely did.
Well, you didn't watch WCW at the time, did you?
Exactly.
Was this new to you? Obviously, you was aware of all this, surely this storyline, but you wouldn't have been watching it weekly, surely. If you was the WWF guy, because you were never a switcher, was you really?
I did have a switch though now and again. So, you know, I remember vividly leading up to this moment. However, as a pay-per-view, it's not something I ordered. It's not something I watched.
Yeah.
You know, I only ordered WWF events. I've never, ever paid for a WCW pay-per-view. So this was the very first time that I watched this event. What about you two?
I've seen it in the past, but I've made no secret of it. Sting is my favourite wrestler of all time.
Oh, I hadn't got that vibe from you.
But no, it's one of them shows. It's like it says something about the build. I mean, this had been building for a long time. This payoff, so many things building into it, and that intro package. Oh my god! If you didn't feel some sort of like, holy shit, you're not fucking human. It was amazing. It's like the way it was filmed. Like, I'm gonna have to go off and have a think about this in a corner. So I don't know about.
And that's all he's got to say about that. So what about you, man?
No, I think I remember obviously watching. I did watch it back in the day. But I haven't watched it for obviously years and years and years. So obviously having the network and stuff, you get a chance to relive their memories and all that sort of stuff. So it's like watching a film, like, you know, over and over again. You sort of miss it, or you watch a film that when you was a kid and then you watch it again when you're older and you get like a different perspective on it and you get a different understanding about it and what words mean and what actions mean. And, you know, I mean, you get a different outlook on it, don't you, when you're watching it from a different period in your life than when you first initially watched it. So, you know, obviously you can, you know, you're looking for more things and you understand what happened after and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, it's timeless. You know, it's definitely kept its, you know, it's kept it with the times. You know what I mean? And you know, it's the ultimate good guy versus bad guy. You know, that's what wrestling's all about, ain't it? You want the bad guy to be beaten and all that sort of thing, and they've done it perfectly. You know, and Sting was an icon, and you know, this was never heard of. This wasn't like it was. You know, Sting was the colourful surfer, all that sort of stuff, and then he just went away, and nobody knew what was going on. Perfect story, absolutely perfect story.
Without a doubt, a great story. And as the camera shoots through his eye and we see the show logo, it opens up with Tony Schiavone to the arena, the event, fireworks and thunder. Of course, you've got to have thunder on a WCW event regardless, right? So it is 18 months in the making. As you said, you know, the build up to this was a very long time. Now, Tony Schiavone tells us that there's 24,000 fans in that arena. Unfortunately, that's a load of bullshit. So
what did Vicky say?
The official attendance, and this is, you know, on multiple media platforms, not just Wikipedia this time round, 17,500 in the crowd. Maybe they were counting all the wrestlers in the crowd because there was loads of dead random wrestlers. Rey Mysterio, Glacier. It was just, Harlem Heat, Sonny Ono, Disco Inferno. Hugh Morris, that was dead random at one point. Just... literally
Greg
all sorts of, Greg Valentine, Chris Adams, who my hair pretty much looks like at the minute, lockdown barbers and all of that. But yeah, it was just dead random. And then we are shown the commentary team, and we've got Tony Schiavone, Mike Tenay, and Dusty Rhodes, baby, the late great Dusty Rhodes. chat me up. Talk to me about this announced team, Dan.
No secrets made about this. I fucking love Mike Tenay as an announcer. I watch a lot of TNA, and he was the head. It was good at one point. There was a moment. There's briefly.
Moving on.
But no, Mike.
It was a good week.
AJ Styles was still there.
Yeah, he was actually over there. No, Mike Tenay is a really intelligent announcer. He actually knows the names of moves rather than later on in the night. Dusty, I'll make. He's like, is that one of them Hunan Camranas or whatchamacallit? And it was like a splash in the corner or some shit. And I'm there like, thank God you're fucking here, Mike.
Yeah, saving the day.
He knows there's a drinking game all and of himself with the amount of times he says certain words.
Without a doubt.
Oh.
And what about you, Mark?
Yeah, I think, when you hear the fireworks and the crowd, and then you got Tony Schiavone, it's game time in WCW. When this is the time, don't forget, when WCW, I believe, was well on top. I don't know how long it was on top for.
83 weeks.
What part of the 83 weeks was this, though? The December one?
Towards the end.
Towards the end, yeah. You know what I mean? You knew it was game time. You knew it was, it's going to be like what Tony Schiavone puts in, obviously with AEW now. But it was good. He was, he was like, right, okay, this is, it's a good commentary team. I think it's probably one of the best.
Yeah,
definitely.
For me, one thing was missing, and I have really, really tried to find out why he wasn't on the announced team this night, and that is Bobby the Brain Heenan. And I think, we will talk about it throughout the show, but to cover off my thoughts here is, although I love Tony Schiavone, Mike Tenay, and how can you not love Dusty Rhodes, he did miss a heel throughout the night. They were very pro WCW, and all this show was about, especially the last 4 matches, was WCW versus the NWO. And you needed that balance. You needed a bit of heel to just go, shut up, you fucking knobhead baby face. Do you know what I mean? And that was the one thing missing for me on this commentary team. So, yeah. Yeah,
definitely. I agree.
I think with just going back onto Heenan as well, I think it got explained that he got run off the week before the show. And
he was apparently on the countdown. So there was a like a pre-show that Bobby the Brain Heenan appeared on, according to multiple sources again on the internet. Not Wikipedia. Wikipedia had no mention of Bobby the Brain Heenan. I'm just going to throw that out there. But there was other websites reporting that Bobby the Brain Heenan was there. He did a bit of commentary or backstage something on a pre-show of sorts, and then that was it. They never used him, so it was just a bit confusing to me.
Crazy.
Obviously, Dusty cuts an epic promo about Destiny, which Mike Tenay just absolutely nods to, and he's like well into it. He's like, Dusty Road, baby, Dusty Road cut the promo, and I'm sitting between him and Tony Giovanni. Like dead excited. It was dead good. But then, of course, as Don would say, the greatest ring announcer of all time kicks us off with an introduction, and it's the challenger for the Cruiserweight title. Do you want to do it, Don? Do you want to do it?
Dude, I'm always going to want to do it. The Iceman.
And in case you can't translate Dave Pencer, that is Dean Malenko. And this, for me, match 1 on the card, for me, was the best match of the night. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. We've got 7 other matches to talk about, but let's talk about the WCW Cruiserweight Championship between Dean Malenko and Eddie fucking Guerrero. Referee for this one, Charles Robinson. Take it away, boys. Tell me what you thought.
Fucking stole the show. For opening match, stole your show. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? These two obviously have got a lot of history, which again Tenay brings up.
Yeah.
That they've wrestled out of the company. Obviously, they wrestled in ECW together.
And then there's part of the revolution going forward, one into WWE.
They were part of the Radicals indeed. I believe, Mark, did you pick
Revolution,
this one as...
Wasn't it Revolution first?
Yeah, but where's Douglas when you need him?
Yeah.
Just the Radicals as far as I'm concerned, mate.
Okay.
You know, it is what it is, isn't it? So, Mark, did you not pick this one as one of your top 10?
No.
Did you not?
No.
What did we watch from a Halloween Havoc? Clearly not this
Eddie
one.
versus Ray.
Yeah,
Eddie
Eddie
and Ray.
versus Ray. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Eddie versus
Yeah.
Ray. All right, my bad.
You can't have too many Eddie Guerreros. Look, I could pick 10 Eddie Guerreros and probably the 10 best matches ever.
You definitely can. That no Eddie match is a bad match,
Try
right?
to mix it up.
So I mean, so the arena is now known as the Capital One Arena these days. But the reason I mentioned it is Mike today on commentary says this is the first ever wrestling event in this arena. So the arena actually opened on December 2nd, 1997. And this took place on the 28th of December. So it's a brand new arena hosting the biggest event in WCW history to this point, right? And this is the match that starts it. And the way it starts off is a bit of pushing and shoving, and then the referee is suckered, shall we say, behind Di Malenko for Guerrero to get on top of him from behind. I really liked the start of it. I really did. I think it lost a little bit in the middle for me.
Yeah.
But they recovered it, and the spots that they did, regardless whether it was just a move or it was a more complicated spot, like when Eddie went up for his, Hurricanrana off the rope. So he did the springboard, and then Malenko just went, nah, prick, powerbomb. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, but then he followed that up with an Alabama slam, and that thing just sounded like fucking thunder.
But how legit was the pickup off that Alabama slam?
Oh, that there's no fucking about.
There was no posting, nothing. It was a deadlift.
Yeah. That was eat shit, fucker. That was eat shit.
I thought it was great. Eddie did some great heel work throughout, trying to shake his hand. He actually kissed Di Malenko's foot at one stage, and Malenko just kicked him in the face. And then Dusty called it a powder, and I was like, popping. I was like, that's it, Dusty. Use the inside language. I love it.
Dusty Rhodes, I love him.
He's great, wasn't he? Obviously, the main bulk in the second half of the match is all Eddie Guerrero working on the leg, specifically the knee. The commentators put over massively that, it will stop him getting the Texas Cloverleaf on, which it did. We ended up with Eddie doing a top rope drop kick to the knee, followed by the frog splash on the knee for the 3 count. And Eddie Guerrero, the heel in the opening contest, takes the match and retains the Cruiserweight title. So they go 14 minutes and 57 seconds. But like we've said, I can't do it any more justice than I have. I've tried to be as short as possible because we've got 8 matches to talk about. But you should definitely go and check this out if you've never seen it before. It is an absolute classic match.
Yeah.
Let's hear your summaries, lads.
My only criticism of the match, and it's not about the match, it's about the commentary.
Yeah.
The commentary, you would have thought this was like the pre-show and nothing was going on.
Because they're talking about everything else.
They're trying to plug the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But they literally gave next to no time to the match, and that's truly the biggest negative I've got about that match, is the commentary should have been involved in that match.
I think your point's spot on because it happens quite a lot throughout the show for me.
Yeah.
They are constantly talking about Hogan versus Sting, but more so WCW versus NWO, which was the more annoying thing for me, really. You don't mind them plugging the main event, but when they're talking about, momentum and this and that and blah, 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 it just got a bit too much for me throughout the night. What about you, Mark?
No, I agree. Well, I think it's a bit disrespectful, ain't it? Really, like I said, you've got to draw. Sting and Hogan are the draw of this main whole event, regardless of what happens. Sting and Hogan are the draw, so you can talk about them. That's fine. But when you obviously speaking over a match and you're not really watching the match. A bit like we do sometimes on the watch along episodes. Like sometimes you don't even like watch the match, you're talking about something else. And it obviously that's exactly the same, but we're not obviously, being paid to commentate on that match and that show. So, it is disrespectful because that was probably, like you say, probably one of the best matches you'll ever see.
Yeah.
In terms of technicality, high risk, storytelling. If you look at the fans, and I always look at the fans first match are well into it. They're not screaming Hogan, Sting, and they're not got all the Sting signs, all that sort of stuff. Them watching the match and them enjoying the first match, and that's that you got to go off that. You've got to go off that. Do you know what I mean? And this is obviously like Eddie Guerrero's his new gear. He's dropped the singlet looking gimmick as well, and this is the Eddie where it started to get like really good before he got really bad and he got released. But this is where he was just like, what, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and we're going to seal the show first match regardless.
And that's exactly what they did. Like I say, 14 minutes 57 seconds. Let's hear your star ratings. Dan, what you got?
I'm going to say 4 stars. I'm going to say solid 4 stars. It was by far spoiler. There's nothing's going to be better than this. In my
you can turn it off here if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Honestly, I wish I had. But yeah, 4 stars. Awesome match, and I wish they'd have gone another 5-10 minutes. I wish that, but
yeah, I think 4 stars as well. Okay. I think if they had more time, they could do more stuff then more, but 4 stars definitely.
I agree. So I went for 3 stars. Sorry, lads. I can't even justify it. It was good, but like you say, there could have been more. The commentary did not help it. Like you say, it definitely deserved better commentary. But the main reason I went for 3 stars, like I say, it did get a little bit lost in the middle. But I'm a sucker for psychology, as you know.
His father and baby.
Well, right there, the pop.
Where they're still trying to figure out the referee for the main event. literally, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
A situation about destiny in this match.
Destiny. This whole night is about destiny. Sorry, Dusty. I didn't realise you were plugging the game on the PlayStation 5 these days. Rip Dusty. So yeah, 3 stars. Big Dave, 2 3/4 stars. You give it. What a prick. So, next segment, let's get straight onto it. It wasn't a match. It was supposed to be a match, or this match probably would have took place later on in the card. But it's Scott Hall. So Scott Hall makes his way to the ring. The bad guy, Razor Ramon, as some people might remember him as. He's one half of the Outsiders. And Mike Tenay says he's wearing a bogus tag team title belt. So can any of the WCW fans in the room tell me what this is all about before I have to reveal it all, or nah?
Go on, WWF boy, you do it.
Oh, okay then. So the story behind that, folks, is that they had lost the tag team titles previously, twice actually, in fact. But Eric Bischoff had reversed the decision twice on both occasions. However, they then lost them a 3rd time, but they just started walking around with the belts anyway. So
you just grow attached. You just get attached to them.
Literally, you will see it a little bit later. We will talk about them, but the Steiner brothers, Scott and Rick, they're actually the tag team champions at this point. But to put a bow on the storyline, I will tell you that what happened is the Steiner brothers, while they were tag team champions, Scott turned on Rick and then handed the belts back to the Outsiders anyway. So were they really bogus champions all along, is my question.
Who knows?
With a belt. Were they predicting it with the same belt?
Well, we're the booking committee, brother. So anyway,
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, exactly. The NWO music, honestly, how iconic is that music?
By a lad called Jimmy something.
Was it Jimi Hendrix?
I think, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Down, down, down. New world order.
Oh, man.
It was dead good. I loved it. So
Yeah.
he gets in the ring and he
New World Wrestler.
what? Why are you making it harder for yourself, Mark? You've got to edit this.
Fucking brother over here popping himself.
Literally, he's like, "Fuck it, it's Monday night. I'll have some fun."
It's Monday night, Michael.
Yeah, it's Monday night. Monday night, no one gives a fuck.
There you go.
So Scott Hall comes out, cuts a bit of a promo, takes a
Scott Hall his eye off his tits as well.
Oh yeah, he's proper fucking gone in there. You can tell.
Yeah,
like he comes out later in the show with beer in his hand, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like with Bischoff, it's fantastic. But basically, he basically says, "You're either with us or you're against us. So are you with WCW? Yay! Or are you with the NW? Oh, they love it. The fucking crowd pop." And then out of nowhere, he just basically says, at Super Brawl, I'll get the winner of Sting versus Hogan for the title. Can't wait. He's literally what he said. I was like, yeah. Say it with a bit more conviction, buddy.
Yeah, say it like it's definitely going to happen and not get moved up to the show after that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Scott, are you saying something here?
I wouldn't know. I haven't watched Super Brawl, so I wouldn't know.
it wasn't Scott Hall, wasn't he? Put it that way.
Oh, no. Okay. Fair dues. Fair dues. So Kevin Nash, not here tonight. He doesn't really give an answer on it. And he says, get a ref because the Giants won. The Giant makes his way to the ring slower than The Undertaker at WrestleMania, as far as I'm concerned. I thought he's all waiting for him to get in and tap him on the shoulder or something, because he's going to be waiting a fucking while. If you don't know who the Giant is, it's it's the Big Show. And then I think Paul White, our mate Paul, he does a good job here. He does a great babyface promo. He gives him a big press slam followed by a choke slam. Oh, wait, no. He stops the choke slam and he gives him a jackknife powerbomb, motherfucker. That is a dead good message to Kevin Nash. I loved it. What do you think of the Big Show in this one?
It's weird to see Big Show, obviously, how he is nowadays, to see him in his younger days. Like, obviously, he was pushed straight to the top when he first joined WCW.
Yep.
Straight away into a title feud with Hogan and the infamous sumo monster truck match on top of a building, and then the Yeti!
Good old 95, man. Okay, now.
One thing in the promo while he was in the ring with Hall, he said, and fuck me, did he keep his word? I'm going to be in this ring for a long, long time. And this was 97. So, yeah, you kept your word. Fair play.
He has kept his word.
Let's just put it like this. Scott Hall's not a small guy.
No.
And how fucking bad did that bump look when he took the power bomb from Giant? He looked like he ate shit.
Yeah, that ring looks fucking stiff as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying as well, going to the size, like a bit off topic. I was watching Enzo Amore's first match back. Don't know if you watched it. Like Enzo, he was against Brian Pillman Jr. And Enzo has always been to me a small guy, hasn't he? He's been in the cruiserweight, small guy. But did you know he's like 6'5"? He's like dead big.
I think he's like 5'10".
I don't know if he's 6'5", but he's big. He's in the 6 foot. I think he's 6'2", 6'3", maybe.
Jesus. So that's what I mean.
Are you sure you're not talking about Big Cass?
No, Enzo.
Enzo Amore.
Yeah. Is he not?
Are you sure?
Is this where the Wikipedia machine gets fired up?
Mate, I'm fucking Googling this shit. I don't believe this motherfucker. He's 5'11".
Okay, so he's not far off 6 foot then. Not 6'5". He's not far off 6 foot.
Oh, he's still a
How
big
tall
boy.
are you? How tall am you?
I'm five.
I'm 5'10" in wrestling boots.
I'm about
What with your fringe platform?
2 inches, actually.
it's not all about size, brother. It's how you use the inches.
Exactly, mate. Fill the pram.
But anyway, regardless of his size, like he's
Yeah,
like the way he looked in that.
This 7-foot monster, Enzo Amore, yeah? I'm with you.
Fuck off.
Oh, no, I'm keeping up. I'm with you.
No, but like, no, but because he's not in the, because he's not in the in a match with a big guy.
Yeah.
He looked big. Does that make sense? So you're like referencing obviously Scott Hall, like looking dead small against the Giant, but Scott Hall's massive.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So, big fucking powerbomb, which was obviously a message to big, sexy Kevin Nash. But let's talk about where Kevin Nash really was, though. So, does anyone know? Do we know why Kevin Nash was not in the building at Starrcade 1997 that year?
There
Was he in
was a
jail?
couple of. I heard that.
One at a time, pricks.
I heard the rumor he had symptoms of a heart attack.
Okay. And
There's a
Martin?
health scare.
I heard he was in jail.
Okay. Two very good suggestions. Our survey says that one of
What does
you
Wikipedia say?
might be correct. Actually, I did a bit more research than just Wikipedia on this one because I'm not a WCW fan. So yeah, I had to go looking around and digging the internet for a little bit more information. But Donnie's absolutely correct. So it turns out that he believed at the time that he suffered a mild heart attack at the age of 39. His dad passed away from a heart attack at the age of 40. So he was in the hospital getting checked over, blood tests, and so on and so forth. The rumours and innuendo at the time was that he was basically pulling a no-show because he didn't want to put the Giant over, which obviously is dead believable knowing Kevin Nash. Even Bischoff at the time thought, oh, it's a bit sus. You don't want to work over the holiday period. And then, you know, he don't want to put the Giant over either, basically.
That's when you got that thing written into your contract as well, saying you have complete rights of character.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the basics of it is what it actually turned out to be was he'd worked out the day before. He'd done a heavy leg workout. And the symptoms mimicked a heart attack. So his muscle rebuilding, the blood, the way that it circulated around his body, mimicked a heart attack. And so, I mean, that's just fucking unreal. That is just unreal.
I'll be honest, because when I heard the showed, I just thought, oh, he's done his knee in again.
Yeah, absolutely.
As he's prone to do.
Yeah, quad all day long, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's that. Kevin Nash weren't there because he thought he had a heart attack. The next match was a 6-man tag match that also had another no-show. So Dave Pencer nearly announced him as a team member of the NWO, but it was the Steiner brothers, the real tag team champions at the time, with our mate Ray Traylor, aka the Big Boss Man, and
Guardian Angel,
the Guardian fucking Angel, with a babyface Ted DiBiase at this point. I was like, "What is he, a babyface? What's going on here?"
Yeah,
and they were taking on the NWO team of Big Scott Norton, Vincent, aka Virgil. And oh wait, hold on a minute, he's not here. So in all seriousness, I should say, poor Conan did not attend that event due to the stillbirth of his and his girlfriend's child at the time. So WCW reached out to his replacement, His replacement was the Macho Man Randy Savage, which is what a fucking replacement,
Good replacement.
that is.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's incredibly sad for Conan, but it's the biggest event in company history. So the fact that the Macho Man weren't on the card originally is baffling me a little bit. So as WCW boys at the time, what's up with it?
Yeah, I don't think I could put it any better. There was people on this card that, in the eyes of the company, had more of a right to be on the biggest show in company history than the Macho Man Randy Savage. Are you fucking serious? At least what 2 people in this match I could already name.
Politics, baby. That's what it comes down to.
Is that what you reckon? Just politicked out of the card log?
Of course it is, yeah.
Absolute
He's
madness.
probably said something to somebody that they didn't like, and that was it.
Unbelievable, I tell you. Well, they ended up getting the Macho Man in, but the Macho
Why wouldn't you put Macho Man? Look at look at where he was at that point. 1997. He was good. He was good. He was really, really good.
Slim Jim.
He was on his fuck you to Vince McMahon phase.
Yeah.
It's like new gen.
He was, he was in the groove. He wasn't bored. He wasn't fed up. He wasn't angry. He was in the groove. He
wasn't quite mental yet.
Yeah, exactly. There you
No,
go.
he wasn't.
I like mental Savage.
He didn't have his like Godfather mimicked like whole train like he did in like 2000 when he had all the women around.
Fucking hell. Let's not talk about that. I just want to say, like, he obviously got his own individual entrance here, and the second he walked out, it was just a completely different vibe from the audience. What a star! What a legend! But you talked about politics, and Randy Savage played his politic card on this particular night, which we'll get to. But what the fuck is going on with Scott Steiner's goatee?
This to me, this era of Scott Steiner, this is his awkward teen phase.
He just didn't get his math right with that one, did he?
No, this is pre-math. Well,
he was still fucking learning math, I think, with that goatee.
So my argument still is now.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I don't want to spend too much time on the match, boys, if I'm honest with you. I think it was a bit shit. The crowd weren't interested unless Savage was involved.
Or Virgil was involved.
What to expect.
The finish was quite messy as well. Ted DiBiase was up and down off that apron like he was off his wife when they conceived Ted Jr. He didn't know when he needed to be up on the apron. He didn't know when he needed to be down off the apron. It just was a fucking mess. And then all of a sudden, Macho Man hits the elbow drop. The crowd erupt because it's like, we got to see the elbow. You know what I mean? Like, that is what we've spoke about elbow drops recently. I think one of the ones that we forgot to mention is Perry Saturn, who's also on this card. But Macho Man Randy Savage's elbow, he's obviously, he's up there, isn't it? He's up there. Anyway, Savage wins. And basically, this was the politic card. Savage said, I'll only do it if you change the finish and I've got to go over. And that's exactly what they did. I think, based on the rest of the card, spoiler alert, WCW were probably supposed to take a clean sweep here in the matches. However, Savage went, no, brother. If I'm working, I'm going over. And after 11 minutes and 6 seconds, he did go over. So tell me what you thought, boys.
I think what happened with Ted DiBiase, I think, like during that meeting of like, so what we're going to do then? Any ideas? We do this, do that. How should we play it? Should we do this? Ted DiBiase fucking vetted that meeting, went and got himself a cup of coffee, and he didn't know fuck all about the match. There were 6 people in the ring. He didn't know fuck all about it. So that's why he didn't know where the fuck he was or what he was supposed to be doing. He thought, oh no, I'll know what I need to do. I'll know when I need to. I'm experienced enough. He vetted that meeting and he was like, oh fuck, I don't know what's going on here. Basically,
definitely one way of putting it.
Yeah.
My opinion of the match: what the fuck did Virgil do wrong?
Everything.
Because honestly, of the 6 men in that ring, did he not eat the most shit?
Yeah, fully. He took some right bumps as well, man.
Honestly, that like DDT, that Doomsday DDT off the top,
yes.
that's the finish. That's it. That's end of match. That should have been fucking it.
That's Virgil
should never
Rip.
walk again. Yeah.
R.I.P. Virgil. Fuck me.
But obviously, the crowd, you talk about a pop for the elbow drop. They popped for the Frankensteiner as well.
Yeah.
That got a good reaction. But now this match felt a lot longer than 11 minutes.
It did. The only reason I didn't mention that is because I wasn't putting Scott Steiner over anymore after his goatee.
This is his all Cena phase.
Yeah. So, how many stars, Dan?
2. And just because Virgil didn't die, it legit.
Fair. Mart?
1.5.
Yeah, you've matched with Big Dave on that one, 1.5 stars. I've gone with 1 star purely for the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, we're doing a 0 star.
No one else.
It
would have been a 0-star match. No one else contributed towards the starring system except the Macho Man Randy Savage. Also, I ain't gonna lie to you. I know the referee for every single match, and you know I was going to try and gloss over it, but I just thought I'd get it over and done with. Can't tell you who this ref is. Can't find any record of him. He never existed. Simple as that.
Yeah. It's the ill-fated WCW Phantom ref.
Yeah, that one. He's that guy. If you don't know who he is, he's that guy in that match.
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking, Mark, if you don't know who that guy is?
Everybody leaves the ring and we go to Mean Gene Okerlund, who is, of course, plugging the hotline. My man made a living of plugging a phone number. It's fantastic.
Yeah. No, you know why he did that, though?
Money.
Yeah, he took a massive cut of that.
Money.
Yeah, he took a massive cut of the actual line, though.
You know why he took a massive cut at WCW?
No.
Because he took nothing at WWF.
Really? Oh.
What do you mean, really? Like, who's still in business, brother? Do you know what you mean, really? So anyway, he brings out JJ Dillon, who can't cut a promo to save his life. He's rolling that piece of paper up like it's a giant spliff. And then he announces that the random referee generated Nick Patrick to be the referee for the main event. Obviously, the WCW commentators, which is all 3 of them, aren't very happy about this. Do you want to explain why no one from WCW would have been happy with this decision?
Nick Patrick is the NWO referee.
Yes, brother.
Yeah.
Yes. So Nick Patrick, obviously, in '96 was coerced. One of those two
Groomed.
phrases. Groomed. He was groomed into being the NWO official to the point of wearing a vest. Remember that vest top?
Greatest ref gimmick ever.
Where he was backstage in that fucking walkthrough.
In the back, yeah.
That was so
perfect
funny.
placement in the background.
So funny. So anyway, Nick Patrick, he got suspended, he got sacked, whatever. They reinstated him, and JJ Dillon says, I don't see a problem with him. He's the official for the match. End of story. That's that. We then move on to our 3rd match of the card, which includes Martin Holland's GOAT. That's right, folks. Martin Holland's GOAT. Steve McMichael. Mungo!
If someone could jump through a screen to strangle you right now, I think, Rob, you'd be in trouble.
I'm all right with it. It's not Steve Mongo McMichael, but it is his opponent, which is, of course, Bill Goldberg.
And it is actually Bill Goldberg on the nameplate as well. It's not just Goldberg yet.
Not just Goldberg.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
This is his first pay-per-view.
Mark, I'll let you lead this one. Go on.
What an absolute barn burner. You talk about the first match being the best match on the card. I think you're talking a lot of bollocks here. This is December, Starrcade 97. Sting Hogan, who the fuck are them? Bring out Bill Goldberg and Steve Mongol McMichael.
Mongol, he called him a fucking Mongol. So if no one has ever seen Steve, no, sorry, it is Steve, right? Steve Mongol McMichael. The reason I said that is because he has got to be the worst Steven Seagal impersonator I've ever seen in my life.
Or is Steven Seagal the worst Steve Mongo McMichael impersonator ever?
Do you know what? That's a fair point. I never thought of it like that. Fuck me, this match is shit. Yeah, what are they doing?
The thing is, though, what you've got is you've got two wrestlers who ain't got no fucking footwork at all. Don't even, based on footwork, don't deserve to be in the ring. I've not got the best footwork. But I'd never you know what I mean?
Run the ropes, 3 steps and turn, can't you?
Mate, I know how to take a stride into a fucking side slam.
Footwork.
You can make an entrance and not trip over, can't you?
Yeah.
Unlike
there you
The Shockmaster.
It's just like them playing Flintstone when he does the bowling. It's like them fucking legs are going all the fucking time. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking hell, what an image.
Goldberg obviously got a bit better at this time, like later on down the line, a bit better. But at this point, it was just, I don't know. He did get a bit better, Rob.
Yeah, all right. That's fair enough. I'll give you that.
Mate,
so
he jackhammered fucking Hulk Hogan in Atlanta, Georgia, and won the fucking belt like 7 months later.
Yeah, and then The Walking Dead started because fucking hell, it was the end of the world. Oh, no, that was the next time when they were back in Atlanta, Georgia, weren't they?
Yeah.
If you didn't get that, why are you watching this show? But anyway,
for you.
Yeah, there you go. So it just starts with a bit of a brawl. Why did he get that table out and then he just stood it up against the ring post and then decided to get back in the ring? I was a bit confused about that.
I got a feeling somebody's ribbed him. Somebody's ribbed him in this match and said, what you need to do is go and get the table and then do this and do that and do this and do that. Somebody's give him some sort of direction. So like I said, I don't know why he's picked at the table, leaned up against the fucking post and then lefty.
So I've got some bullet points for this match and I just want your reactions after the bullet points. Leg scissor spot.
Is this the one where Goldberg ends up in the knee bar?
Yep.
I didn't hate it. I actually thought it looked okay. There's worse things in this match, believe me. That was not the worst thing in this match.
I didn't say it was, but that was one bullet point. Martin?
What you want to react to that?
Leg scissor spot.
I thought it was fucking awful.
My reaction is fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next one is spear.
The fucking bump off that spear. You lazy motherfucker, you. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Mart?
I think if you got I think the spear looks good on somebody who knows how to take one. Let's just leave it.
Looks good on someone who knows how to bump.
My reaction to that was also fucking hell. The next bullet point is
for a trend here.
Nah. The crowd give no fucks whatsoever.
Nah.
Can you blame them?
No.
Can you blame them?
Here's the big one. Punches him off the apron through the table.
But
no disqualification, but I do kind of get that, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, but no.
I'm sorry.
Carry on.
Why take the table bump and then 15 seconds later be in the ring?
Yeah.
You have not sold.
If Goldberg really wanted to be the GOAT, he had a 13-year advantage on Edge spearing Cactus Jack through the table.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he could have created grounds there. We punched him instead.
Yeah.
But if he wants to be the GOAT, then he could have done that, you know what I mean?
It was
In
terrible.
fairness, though, I think being in the vicinity of Steve Mongo McMichael causes you to botch. So I think Bill on this one was probably wise to do it. Wise just to punch him. I thought Goldberg was bad, but fuck me, I think we have a new GOAT in that respect. This is the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I actually can say that legitimately.
So my next bullet point is I'm so glad
He was a member of the Four Horsemen. He was in a legendary stable. The Four fucking Horsemen.
It's amazing. It's amazing what the NFL does for people's career outside the NFL.
Technically,
Really is.
Steve Mongo McMichael was in the main event of WrestleMania 11. Technically, he was in LT's corner.
But here's the question: was he the one bumping with Bam Bam?
Oh, was he? Fuck.
Not ever.
So anyway, this one goes 5.59 minutes, way too long.
5 minutes too long, to be fair.
I'm going to fucking get it out of the way. And Martin, you might hate me for this, but I don't give a shit. This is my 0-star match of the night.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Yeah.
Dave is generous. He give it 1 star.
Did he give any backstory on that or explanation? Or
No, I think he sucked Bill Goldberg off once or something.
Did Dave explain how much coke he'd taken before the race of that match?
He must have took a lot. Right, Dave?
Looked like Tony Montana with like a mountain of cocaine, just fucking
just waiting to get fucked.
Yeah, fucking cockroaches. Fucking cockroaches, I fucking kill them all. Cockroaches.
So anyway, mentioning the cockroach, Raven walks to the ring next.
Scat.
As casual as you like. He's not turned up to the last few weeks on Nitro, according to the commentary team. He cuts a promo in his famous corner pose. That's the best way I can put it. He decided that he's not wrestling tonight. He puts Perry Saturn as his replacement, who comes to the ring, who happens to be his opponent, Chris Benoit.
Makes sense.
Yes, we're going to talk about Chris Benoit on this show for the first time. So it is a Ravens Rules match between Perry Saturn and Chris Benoit. Your referee for this one is good old Mickey J. And Benoit does a decent job of the promo that he cuts before the match, to be honest with you. He's a poet and a murderer. I'd say he's a dead good guy. He's a dead good guy, I think. So anyway, a dead explosive start to this one.
Yeah. Oh, God. Here we go. Happy New Martin.
Like, it's weird that, you know, I sat there and I watched this match and I thought it was a really good match. But now talking about Chris Benoit, that I know this is going to go out on, you know, whatever platforms we choose to put it out on, I'm like, fuck, am I allowed to say anything?
Yeah. You've got that, like, the question you've got in your head, though, it's like, can you compliment him as the wrestler? Bear in mind, this is years before anything happened, or is it because of what he did, he's rightfully tarnished everything in his career? Perry Saturn was good in this match. I like Perry in this match. I'm just going to say that.
Saturn is one of the best workers you can like, so underrated.
Absolutely,
I think. And WWE dropped the ball with him, I think. Like,
honestly,
I know they did the bits and pieces, but
Perry Saturn
he's good worker.
Mops up the floor with this match.
Yeah. That double spring moonsault.
No one's getting it. No one. It's fucking gone.
I know what you're doing. You're referencing that fucking stupid gimmick you had.
Correct. Why aren't you reacting? God damn it!
We're just sandbagging you.
Literally sandbagging me, you fucking prick. What move?
Not saying anything.
What move did you say was good, Don?
The double spring moonsault.
The double. Let's move on. So, can you name all of the flock? Because I can't.
Lodi.
Sick boy.
Sick boy.
What was it called? Lodi, though?
I don't know. He was gay. Kid.
Does it look like Billy Idol?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
That's Idol
backwards.
Okay. All right.
Red one.
It's pretty cool. Well done, guys.
Kidman.
Van Halen.
No, just Hammer at this point.
Same thing.
He took out the van.
I love Van Hammer. Oh, I love him.
He died recently. Oh no, that was the real one, the real singer.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Scotty Riggs.
Wikipedia fucking crashed or what?
No. I just, you know what? You know when we did the ECW one that still hasn't aired yet.
Yeah.
I made a note of all the Dudley boys. I thought, fuck that, I ain't doing that for this.
Yeah, Scotty Riggs and Horace Hogan was a part of them as well, wasn't he?
He was in the crowd, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, but he was probably just handing out popcorn more than just being
Who was the big guy?
Just sorry or no.
Ron Reese, who played the Yeti.
Yeah, that's it.
Who else am I forgetting? And then there was somebody else, and I can't remember who. There is one more member of the flock. So
anyway, let's just be clear here. Right? It's a pretty good match. Okay.
Yeah.
Perry Saturn. It's Chris Benoit. It's probably the second best match on the card.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Give or take. There's a really, really great brainbuster spot from Saturn. And he keeps working on the neck of Benoit. The commentators put that over a little bit like Guerrero on the knee earlier in the match. And it's pretty evident why when we get to the finish. Benoit strikes, chops, punches, you name it. They're on point every single time in this match. At one point, they're in the corner with the cameraman where he's on that apron gimmick. And he's holding on for his life because Saturn and Benoit are up on the turnbuckle and the ring, and he's there like this, just camera. And how he didn't die is beyond me. But there's a crossface on the outside of the ring. It's broken up by the flock. Saturn takes him out with a springboard moonsault. I thought that was quite nice. Benoit gets on top. Raven's obviously still around at this point. He hasn't been taken out. He hits the top rope headbutt. Saturn is more than halfway across the ring, which is dead impressive. The flock come back in. Raven hits the spike DDT. And then Saturn puts in the rings of Saturn. And that's the end of it. Benoit's out cold. Mickey J calls for the bell.
Can you please call it by its real name? It's not just a spike DDT.
Well, go on then, sorry.
It's the even flow.
Even flow DDT? Okay, sorry, brother. Yeah. Sorry. That weren't on Wikipedia, mate. I do apologise. And the commentators didn't call it that either. So, I was
That's where I took inspiration from our finisher from, that is.
Oh, okay.
Even flow.
All right then, mate. So I do apologise.
Okay.
It's all he's got to say about that. So this one goes.
Fucking time I got hated on all of a
as
sudden.
Well. Did you see Kidman done like a shooting star off the apron?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Go for it. You call the rest of the match. I'll give the finish, but just give the rest of it. That's fine.
I thought you was finished. Called the finish on the.
No, the shooting star off the moonsault was really, really sorry,
like
off the apron to the outside. It was dead impressive.
Yeah,
that was like way ahead of its time. Now, don't forget, it's in 1997. Like you'll see that in NXT nowadays, but back in the day,
you'll see it on 205 Live that no one watches.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, there's not a lot of guys in the world that can actually hit a good moonsault, and I think for me, Billy Kidman was the first person really throwing them out that I was aware of. So,
except that one time he done a shooting star onto the ropes. You see, it was on Botchamania.
Someone else did that recently, didn't they?
Yeah. And that one time, someone broke someone's arm on the landing. But
yeah,
let's not talk about that.
They call it high risk for a reason at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So the match goes 10 minutes, 50 seconds. I enjoyed it. How did you find it? What was your star rating?
I'd say this is the second best match of the night. Wasn't as good as Guerrero Malenko, but it was way better than the match before it. I'd say 2.5.
Okay.
I go 2.5 stars.
Martin?
Yeah, I'd agree. Maybe 2 3/4.
Okay. I just went with 2 stars. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I do see the argument to rate it higher. I really do, and probably I've been a bit of a cunt there, to be honest. You can probably bleep that one out, but Dave Dave rated it 1.5 stars. The prick.
Yeah, but has he retroactively changed that rating, or has he kept it?
Who cares? On to the next one. And so we're on to match 5, people. Match 5 of 8. We got a barn burner. We got Buff the Stuff Bagwell versus Lex Luger with referee
jacket.
Yes, love it.
I love
referee Billy Silverman, and that is the exact comment I was going to make, because this by far is the best ring jacket on the show. Even though a fan, because he's loving life, he knows he's in a dead good ring jacket and he's fucking ribbing the crowd, isn't he? And then some bloke in the crowd that looks like Jeebus holds a jobber sign up to his face. And I just found that fucking hilarious. But you are right. Talk to me about the ring jacket, Mark. I know you're a big fan of ring jackets.
I just love it. It's got the right colour. It's got the right amount of like bling. Just wicked. I just love it. It's a proper edge before edge jacket, and I love that. I'm all over that. I love it.
And then he jizzed in his pants, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that Enzo Amore is 7 foot tall. And that's all he's got to say about that.
I don't remember because that's been edited out. So.
Oh wow! Okay. Well, that is awkward.
You look like a prick.
Yes, but not just now. Like all of the time. Don, what did you think of Buff the Stuff and his jacket here?
I actually really liked it. Like, it's the best jacket of the night by far.
Yeah.
I like his top hat though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that gimmick.
It's a bit Mad Hatter 8, like.
Yeah.
I love it.
But he was the stuff.
He was the stuff.
Why did Buff Bagwell never get to where he needed to go in wrestling? Like, he had the look, he had the
stuff,
the charisma, he had the stuff,
he had the touch.
He just had everything. I don't know
did he have the power as well?
Maybe.
Stan Bush, shout out to Stan Bush.
10% off Stan Bush with the promo code Hot Tank 10.
You got a touch. You got a power. His opponent, American Express Luger, or Lex Loser, as Buff said a minute ago.
He loves it, though. Popping himself.
Hey, Lex Loser! Oh, yeah!
Can we talk about Lex Luger's theme music quickly?
Yeah, you can do that. Go for it.
What the fuck is that music?
I can't remember it.
It goes like do.
But you know what? Like, you remember theme music, don't you? Like,
yeah.
You theme music is a big part of you, your character. You know, the NWO, you know, Sting, you know, Wolfpack and DDP,
RC
WWF, RC Chaos. Do you know what I mean? You know all them because they're absolute legends, ain't they?
Oh, I agree.
But,
like, I could not even like recall one of Lex Luger's themes in WWE, in WCW. Oh,
I only remember this one because of the Biddle
right.
music. It's the only way I can put it. It's the only way I can remember.
I can even remember like you can remember all of Eddie's different ones with the LWO, and you can remember Ray's and even to Guerrero. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like all the mid card players. I can remember all of them.
Hello, ladies.
Val Venus, you know what I mean? D-Lo. You know, you can remember them all, but I can't remember Lex fucking Luger, and he's like a fucking former champion. You know what I mean?
He might be a former champion, but I ain't being funny. He looks like the villain from Ghostbusters 2.
What, you're expecting some weedy looking motherfucker to be all creepy and shit next to him?
I hadn't been
That's
drinking.
What he needed, like a weedy little manager.
I hadn't been drinking. I hadn't been to Amsterdam when I watched this show. I'm dead serious. He looked like the villain from Ghostbusters 2.
That is too true.
If someone can Photoshop Lex Luger into that picture frame, you would make my day.
Well,
done. Consider it done.
I'm sure you will see it in the final cut. So, right, let's just quickly get this fucking shit show done. But Bagwell takes a bump off a spit. That was a joke. Bagwell then brings Vincent out. So Virgil's back for more. Just like the crowd, I lost interest halfway through this one.
Yeah.
Vincent gets involved. The ref just gets fucking... He just lets them get on with it. He's like, yeah, carry on, lads. No problem. 5-a-side here, aren't we? We're playing 5-a-side. Yeah. The commentators cover it up well, but then obviously the ref takes a bump. Luger gets the torture rack on the go. The ref's obviously out. Then out comes the man that wasn't even on the show originally, the Macho Man Randy Savage from behind. And then Scott Norton comes out randomly and uses, as the commentators say, Rick Steiner's dog collar. That's right, a fucking dog collar to knock out Luger. And that's the finish. What the actual fuck?
It's a good finish.
Shut the fuck up.
Pat Patterson would be proud.
I'll tell you a story about Pat Patterson, right? You all obviously know Lacey, my better half, shall we say? I've got to say that because we're on camera and all. Don't edit that. Don't edit that bit out. So she comes home and I say, "We've lost a legend in the wrestling business today, Lacey." "Oh yeah. Roy." That's what she says to me. She goes, Roy. I went,
Roy.
I went, "What do you mean, Roy?" She went, yeah, I've seen it all over social media. You know, Roy Patterson, isn't it?
Wow.
I questioned
less cotton socks.
I questioned my life decision at that point, lads. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Halfway packed your bag before you went, actually, know what, I'll think about this.
I'm still here for now. She cooked a good dinner that night, so it's cool.
Roy. Bless him.
That was his middle name, apparently, according to Wikipedia. I put it on there.
Oh, okay.
Just to cover your own arse. Good man.
Yeah,
got
to look after it all.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the shit finish with the dog collar.
How did you knock him out from punching him in the shoulder? And why did they slow-mo it? Just when you went, fuck me, he didn't really get much contact. You looked at, he hit him in the fucking shoulder.
Do you reckon he turned back into the painting as he got punched?
I think so. I think the Ghostbuster lads are the
cross streams.
Yeah.
The only reason this one gets half a star from me is because the Macho Man Randy Savage was involved. And I've already given my 0-star award out to Mr. Bill Goldberg.
How long did it go for? How long was the match?
Way too long. 16
Yeah.
minutes and 36 seconds.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
Another match that felt a lot longer than it really was. A lot longer.
Agreed.
1 star.
Yep.
End of story.
Martin?
Virgil again eating more shit.
Yeah, he did.
Half a star.
Half a star.
It wasn't a match for the fucking Starrcade pay-per-view. This is their WrestleMania, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a WrestleMania fucking, putting that terms. It's not a WrestleMania match.
It's
Not
not.
by a long stretch.
No. Considering, I mean, don't get me wrong. WrestleMania this year in 1997, right? I know we're talking March to December or April to December at a push. But, WrestleMania 13 had Hart versus Austin. Sid versus Taker. Don't get me wrong. Outside of them 2 matches, you probably go, who else was on?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But could you really have done that with Starrcade if you hadn't watched it, other than Sting and Hogan?
No, I wouldn't know
No.
other match. I wouldn't know one other match other than that.
You wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't pick another match on this card?
No.
Anyway.
I think it's just the production as well, though. It's WrestleMania. They put on the production. It's the show. It's the lights. It's the theatre.
It's everything.
They don't do it. They don't do it with this today because they spent all the fucking money on the wages, ain't they?
Absolutely.
Put it that way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
When we talk, and all right, WrestleMania 14 was probably closer to Starrcade than WrestleMania 13, even though obviously 13 was in the same year. We're talking December of 97 versus March or April of 98 for WrestleMania 14. You've got Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels for the championship. You've got The Undertaker versus Kane for the first time. You've got the Legion of Doom returning in a 15-team battle royal with Sonny. Oh, fucking hell, that was banging. Then you've got Taka Michinoku and some other geezer stealing the show with a fucking light heavyweight championship match. You've got Owen Hart versus Triple H. You've got I could go on all day about WrestleMania 14. I really could. The Rock versus Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm sure of it. What? And then you add the celebrities involved as well. Mike Tyson, for fuck's sake. You talk about Pete Rose getting tombstoned for the first time, motherfucker. With Jeff Jarrett.
That's
I don't
the
know.
difference.
It's not bad. Yeah, honestly, it's worlds apart, really, when you think about it. And again, I know this was the start of the turn. 98 was definitely WWF's year to go. Right then, you've played your cards over the last 2 years. Let us show you what we've been building for the last 2 years.
But the thing is as well, though, I think Vince has kept everybody hungry, ain't he? Mm-hmm. He kept everybody wanting. Whereas these was happy to sit at home. How many NWO members was there? All getting paid a fucking mint. Kevin Nash, Sting, DDP, Goldberg. They all had new contracts. Bret Hart. Yeah. You could fucking go on and on and on.
You can.
That's where the downfall was, because nobody was. There was just like, what? This is fucking easy money.
And this is the thing as well. All the mid-card guys who are putting on like the actual wrestling of the shows, like the opening of this, your Benoit's, your Saturn, fuck you. Do you remember him as a good wrestler? But there was a lot of guys like Jericho as well. There were a lot of guys who were hungry.
Where was Jericho here, actually? Because that's an interesting one for me.
He's got to have been injured. He was always on a pay-per-view. 97 was a big year for Jericho.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I looked up a lot of people. Chris Jericho didn't cross my mind because he wasn't really mentioned. The only one that was mentioned is who we're going to talk about in the next match show. We are on to match 6. It's for the WCW United States Championship. It is Kurt Hennig, better known as Mr. Perfect to most people. He takes on DDP Diamond Dallas Page. Referee for this one is Randy Anderson. Anderson, I should say. Legend. The original scheduled opponent for Hennig was Flair. So they were in a program, Flair versus Hennig. Unfortunately, Flair broke his ankle, so this is why DDP got the opportunity. I think this is an all right match. I think it's okay. I think it's a bit slow in the middle. What One of the best bits of commentary during the entire night was this bit where Dusty Rhodes, he's talking about the main event, as they have done throughout majority of the show. And he goes, baby, what about the SWO? You know, baby, the Sting World Order. I like the sound of that, babyface commentators. I like the sound of that. And obviously, Mike Tenay and Tony Schiavone, if their announce table didn't flip over with their erections, I'm not sure. But that stood out to me.
Dusty Rhodes, what a guy.
What a guy. You love DDP, Martin. So what did you think of this one?
I wouldn't say I love DDP. I think he's good. He's got DDP is just adapted to every different type of situation that he's been in. Yeah, there you go. He's a superstar. No doubt about it. But he had this, he went through a stage, I don't know if you remember, earlier on, where he was like a hobo and he wore dead baggy, like tights, on purpose. And you know what I mean? He went through that that stage, and he just adapted, and he was always creative, and he was always looking for that next best thing. And the fans I think that's why the fans just took to him, because he was just he always tried, and he had a passion. Yeah. I wouldn't say I absolutely loved him, but back in the day, again, he went to WWE. They wasted him.
Yeah,
from a storyline with the Undertaker, and that just fucking buried him straight away.
Could have been a great storyline as well, to be fair, but I don't think people were keen on a stalker, were they?
No, there you go.
I think the fact is, with DDP's one of the few actually homegrown for WCW.
Yeah,
it wasn't let's get a guy that was big in the late 80s, early 90s, and try again. So the likes of him, Sting, unfortunately Mongo, these guys who were born and bred in the company. But no, I actually really like this match. I have to agree with Rob, though, he did lack in the middle. But again, another pop. When DDP called for the Diamond Cutter, that crowd were begging for it, like Jake Roberts DDT.
Right at the start of the match, he sort of went for it, and the crowd were immediately on their feet, ready for it. Just as much as they were for the Macho Man Randy Savage's elbow earlier in the night, which is fucking speaking volumes, really. When you're comparing Diamond Dallas Page to the Macho Man Randy Savage, you're onto something there, aren't you?
But you know what, as well, he's wrestling in jeans, and only you out of all of us, Don, can attest to that. I've wrestled in jean shorts. I did a John Cena gimmick a couple of nights, spaced out, and never again. Do you know what I mean?
Where's Den's DVD for that one, brother?
Oh, fucking hell! It's in the archive somewhere. I'll get it.
Nice.
But denim's not the nicest thing to wrestle in. I will say that.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. Den needs to be in the Hall of Fame somewhere for I don't know what for, though.
Anyway,
but he's in the match with Kurt Hennig. He's going for it. He's meeting him toe to toe. Kurt Hennig's a really good technical wrestler as well. And during this time, even though he's a bit beat up and coming toward the end of his physical part of his career, he stands toe to toe with DDP, and he keeps up. Do you know what I mean? And DDP ain't a young pig. He's DDP's the age. Do you know what I mean?
What was you going to say, Doug?
He bumped well for him as well.
Yeah,
was not selfish with the bumping.
He never was, even though he had a bad back majority of his career. He, like Dolph Ziggler these days, that's why people do compare the two. Their bumping styles were very similar.
Yeah. Also, it was quite weird to see too. It was weird to see a Hennig, who's a member of the NWO. Looking at him, you wouldn't know he was a member.
No,
he had nothing.
They always had a logo somewhere, don't they?
Yeah,
or they was wearing a t-shirt, or
a hoodie in Vincent's case.
Yeah. also as well for that, I think that was the only match with an NWO member where there wasn't some sort of shenanigan or gimmick.
Literally, this was just a one-on-one match that was like obviously really, really nice, as you say. I actually thought Perfect looked in really good shape. Considering, you know, the singlet looked fitted. It looked really well on him. And like
he kept it on in this match as well, not like the Bret Hart match at SummerSlam.
He did keep it on in this match, which was good to see. You're quite right. He was coming to the end of his physical career, I suppose. He did obviously make the comeback in WWE in around 2002. Left there around 2003, and then sadly passed away.
He did some stuff. He did some stuff with the rednecks. Was it a redneck thing, as far as I can remember?
Oh,
he did like a redneck gimmick, down in the downfall of WCW, their latter years, like.
Yeah.
So there was a group of rappers, including like Rey Mysterio.
That's it. Yeah.
I think they were
Cohen
called
and Anuvi.
Countrymen or something like that.
Yeah.
And they had a song called "Rap Is Crap."
Rap is crap.
Oh yeah.
You get nothing out of this video today. This review.
That's got fucking.
Hunt that song down because it's actually sort of.
That's so got fucking Russo. That's got Russo written all over that shit.
Also, watch Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko in the opener. Fuck the Rap Is Crap bollocks. So anyway, it goes 10 minutes and 52 seconds now. You know, I'm on about 10 minutes in. 10 minutes in, these two look absolutely fucked. And I mean fucked. And like we said, it was dead slow in the middle, but they're gone, man. They're ready for the finish. So obviously they call the finish because out of nowhere it's Diamond Cutter time, and we've got a new United States champion. Diamond Dallas Page takes the title away from Kurt Hennig. 10 minutes 52 in. What we giving it, boys?
I'm going to give this 2.5.
Okay.
I was just about to say 2.5. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfectly serviceable match. Like I said, lagged in the middle, but I think the right person went over. And it was
had a good variety as well. They worked inside and outside. They worked the crowd, and it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I'll give it 2 stars. As did Big Dave. Give it 2 stars.
You're just fucking copying what that fucking prick says, aren't you?
Right, listen here, motherfucker. I'm going to set the record straight, yeah? I put my star ratings down before I get his star ratings. Okay, let's just be fucking clear on that.
Okay. Whatever.
Nice. You nearly swung my vote. I nearly voted it 2.5 stars because you pair voted it. Anyway.
But then you forgot what Dave said, so you thought, no, I've got to put it 2.
And that's all I've got to say about that, folks. But this episode is sponsored by Forrest Gump and Bret the Hitman Hart. So Bret Hart makes his way to the ring, as is the ref. I didn't even know about this until watching this. So he's always talked about being the ref, right? But when I think to Starrcade 97 as Bret Hart as the ref, I just think about the main event. So without spoiling it, we'll just gloss over it for a minute. But apparently he's a special referee for this match between, NWO leader / WCW executive vice president Eric Bischoff versus the living legend Larry Zbyszko. And Bret's the ref a month after the Montreal Screwjob, which I get. It kind of makes sense, you know. Oh, Bret's going to play it down the middle, all of this bollocks because he was screwed. But really, I don't think he does that at all. I think he's a bit of a cunt to Larry Zbyszko, if I'm honest.
Yeah, he does seem to. It's like he's teasing the turn, but then swerving it. So, but
it's just a perfect example of WCW just burying Bret Hitman Hart before he even got a chance to start. To be fair, he's a world champion. He was at the fucking Survivor Series, which is one of the biggest pay-per-views in fucking WWE. World champion. He got fucked over.
I love how hot you are over this. Keep going.
No, but like, you know what I mean? It's like I think they've shit on him because they don't acknowledge anything he's done in WWF. And that's a shame.
He's basically a more popular Disco Inferno at this point. Is that what you're saying?
There you go. Potentially, if that.
Fucking hell.
It's just like, I think No, I think it's just a case of like, oh, look what we've got, and not a case of, this is what we can do with you. This is, we'll put you here, we'll put you there, we'll put you in these good matches. It's just a case of, we've got you. We're going to pay for you just so we can say fuck you, Vince. That's what it comes across to me as.
Yeah,
and it's a shame.
Yeah. It's like you
Bret
said
the
as well.
Man Art doing a fucking referee gimmick in the biggest pay per view, fucking '97 for WCW. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing, though. He's just come off, like you said, the Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
He's got legitimate heat. Like, there isn't a word about him. It's like, fuck that. Here's an idea. Him versus Macho Man as a match. Macho Man wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
You've got a match. You've got a pay-per-view match right there.
Yeah.
And here's here's a sneak preview of our new segment when we rebooked Starrcade 97.
But you can think of 3 matches to take off this fucking card to at least, and then you could just put 1 match in, Bret Hart against Macho Man. What a match!
If we took the WCW roster at the time, right? Kevin Nash didn't have a heart attack. Ric Flair didn't have a broken ankle. We'd put on a better show, lads.
Yeah.
There you go.
So anyway,
until creative control comes in, brother.
Doesn't work for me, brother. So Scott Hall, obviously, alcohol in hand, very similar to what you're drinking there, Martin, I believe. Even though it's a fake Budweiser bottle and it's a water bottle, but let's not talk about that. So Scott Hall comes to the ring with Bischoff, and what the hell's he wearing on his feet is the first question that I'm going to ask.
I was just about to say that. It looks like he's got he's just had an operation to fix some bunions on his foot or something.
Honestly, I thought, what is this man doing? Right? Remember when he called Vince McMahon out, right? And he was on a fucking bike the next night on Nitro because Vince didn't turn up. Obviously, Vince didn't turn up. But if Vince McMahon had turned up,
Vince might have fucking ate him alive.
Jacked to fuck because he'd been fucking pumping steroids up his arse. Like, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, he won the trial. Fuck you. He would have killed Bischoff, I think.
Oh, in a fight, yeah.
When Bischoff took his top off, I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
What are we in for? And then Larry Zbyszko comes out to the Nitro music, which obviously, I'm all right with. I love Nitro music, so I was happy with that. And then we get told the winner takes control of Nitro. And I think more so than the match, what we need to talk about is what WCW were planning to do. So for me, I believe the plan was that WCW would host Monday Nitro, and then NWO would host Thursday Night Thunder. I believe that was always the plan for WCW, but it never quite worked out, did it?
It would have never worked out, though, would it, if you think about it? The only reason why it worked is because it was the two fighting against each other, and whereas if they just get to sort their own show out, then who are you fighting against? It just doesn't make sense. So
Hogan goes over, brother.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
This is the thing with that as an idea, though. For me, it's like you've said, all their fights with WCW. If you take them away from WCW, they're only going to fight amongst themselves.
Yeah.
But this is the point where, like, I think the NWO gimmick.
But they ended up doing it anyway, didn't they? They ended up doing it anyway because you had the Wolfpack, you had the Latino World Order,
non-affiliated.
NWO 2000.
That was a parody.
Silver and black.
So they ended up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was shit.
This is the thing, though. This was the
Russo feel though, is he?
This show was the downturn of the NWO gimmick.
It's such a shame because they had so much that could have done here, but I'll quickly gloss over this match and then we can obviously get onto the main event. Fact of the matter is, Bret, like you say, he breaks up a lot of Larry Zbyszko submissions. It's a bit weird, a bit strange. And then it gets to the point where Zbyszko's got Bischoff in a trio woe, right? So he's upside down with his feet up on the turnbuckle. Scott Hall then basically puts in a steel plate into his padded feet. I can't believe what I'm about to say next, but like Bischoff goes
You all
for
say, you won't deliver that line.
won't I?
Go on.
What line did you think I was going to deliver? I'm intrigued now.
Don't
No,
fall
just
into
deliver-
that part and he wants you to say it. Get him to say it.
So Bischoff delivered a roundhouse kick, motherfucker. Right, but unfortunately, because
With his sparring shoes on.
because of the sparring shoes, the steel plate flew across the ring and into the fifth row, and Brett just went.
Brett just saw a shooting star.
Yeah.
Like, I clocked that, by the way, Eric. Sabisco's out. He doesn't go for a pin, which baffles me. And then he starts just taunting around the ring. It's dead strange how this unfolds. Obviously, Brett is a bit pissed at Bischoff doing what he's just done and decides to finally turn babyface and hit him. Scott Hall comes in and does a fantastic sell job and gets put in the sharpshooter. To which Larry Sabisco wakes up and gets a bit submissive with Bischoff and starts choking him with his black belt. There's no ringing the bell. There's no submission. There's no knockout. There's just a raise of Larry Sabisco's hand, and then the Nitro music starts playing. What the actual fuck?
Good finish.
That's the thing with that match. It's still ongoing to this day.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a winner. So right now, I want to put the challenge out. Larry Sabisco.
I thought he was dead.
He could very well. No, I think he's still alive.
He's not. Trust me, I checked.
Because you want us to the end of this match as well, don't you?
No, I don't. According to the internet, Wikipedia, the match lasted 11 minutes and 53 seconds.
Bollocks, it's still continuing 23 years later.
That's your opinion, brother, and you can keep it.
Not
But
an opinion, it's fucking fact. The ring bell didn't go. There wasn't an announcement of a winner.
Well, anyway, Larry Sabisco...
Rob, are you petitioning for a rematch?
No.
You're petitioning for it. You are, yeah. Should we get a petition going?
As long as Bret Hart can be the referee, I'll petition.
Okay,
yeah,
let's do it. I'll do an official petition. I'll fill it out tomorrow.
Okay, sound. I'm happy with that. Right. The government will look at it if we get over 100,000 signatures.
No, it's 10,000.
Even
you
better.
only need to get 10,000.
Only.
Imagine that being discussed in Imagine that being discussed in Parliament.
Yeah. The Welsh woman, the Welsh woman will stand up and go. So I know that I've been talking about the speaking out movement within professional wrestling for the last 6 months, but I've got a more pressing matter to discuss now. Larry Sabisco and Eric Bischoff need to end their match from Starrcade 97, but the only way we can do it is if we get Bret Hart to referee it. Boris will go, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, I don't give a fuck. I give this one 2 stars just because Bret Hart's in it.
Oh, fucking Mark.
Oh no, what did you give it?
1 star.
Half a star.
I'm all right with it. Dave, give it 1.25 stars.
Oh.
Fucking hell, Dave, you're a bit of a Bret Mark.
Yeah, like me.
It was just pointless.
It was a terrible match, to be fair, but
it was a terrible match, but it's still going, so the finish might be good. Technically, I can't actually give it a star because it's still ongoing. So
well, still waiting for the comeback, really, because it was a cut-off already, that kick. So
I agree. Don, what I need from you is a running clock of how long it's been on.
What? The match?
Yeah.
I will find this out. So December 28th, 97.
Yeah. Went on about 8:30 in the evening, I'd say.
Let's call it 8:30. So I'm going to roughly guess.
Right, we ain't got time for this, so on to the main event we go. And it's now time for the moment that you've all been waiting for. The thousands in attendance, the millions watching around the world. Let's get ready to rumble! And Michael Buffer turned up for he turned up for his $1 million payday. He said those famous words, let's get ready to rumble. And out comes the New World Order leader. Fuck Eric Bischoff. He is the man. It doesn't work for him, brother, unless he's the WCW heavyweight champion, which he is. It's Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And fuck me, he is the biggest heel in the industry at this point in time in his life. He's an absolute motherfucker. And I'm dead happy about it. I'm dead happy about seeing Hulk Hogan as a heel.
I think, personally, this is Hulk Hogan in his best form. Out of his like breakout in obviously in WCW.
When it comes crashing
WF
down
before.
and it hurts inside.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
All that.
I want this.
Yeah, and you come to WCW, he's all the red and yellow, baby face, you know, eat your vitamins, drink your milk, you know, famous Vince McMahon speech that he done.
Drink your milk. Eat your vitamins and drink your milk. Not eat your vitamins and say your prayers, folks. We're changing words here. We're changing lyrics. It's fine.
What did he say?
Hulk Hogan's an atheist. He didn't believe in God anyway. He just wanted you to drink your milk like Lex Luger.
Take your vitamins, drink your milk, don't he? Is that what he said?
That's the next key.
Take your vitamins and eat your prayers.
Am I thinking of The Rock? I am, I.
Probably. The Rock probably mugged him off. Yeah.
Anyway.
Both of those points right there, t-shirt designs waiting to happen.
Get it on our Facebook page and get 10% off for Christmas with the hot tag 10 code.
But this is the best form. Do you remember them? Like they brought them back out again now, where you can like print onto a cuddly toy, and then probably about this big.
Yeah.
Put them like a print on like a cushion.
Like a battle buddy or whatever they're called. Like
something like that. But it was like a cushion. Yeah. And it was all printed. I had the Hulk Hogan, one of that Hollywood Hulk Hogan with his electric boots and like the flames on his boots and his electric tights and his bandana.
I had the original one. I had the red and yellow one. Yeah.
Amazing. Like Hulk Hogan at this point was fucking on fire.
Yeah, he was absolutely.
He run the show, but quite rightly so. Do you know what I mean? He was on it.
Doesn't work for me, brother. But then, of course, we get a special gimmick entrance for the man they call Sting now. We get a lot of what I can only describe as laser pens shooting off the arena. They got a shout out in the credits, by the way, because WCW do post show credits because it's a show, which is hilarious. It's a pretty strange one. The one thing that I did like about it was the camera does this weird thing where it's got Sting on there, but it's also got Hogan on there at the same time. So
it's like it fades between the two, doesn't it?
Yeah. Cool. I really like that production. Yeah. That was definitely one of the better parts of the matches. You can get
the two reactions, can't you, without split screening or going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes
sense. Like the match doesn't set the world on fire at the end of the day. To give you an indication, the match goes 12 minutes and 53 seconds. Now, that doesn't sound... Well, it's not the longest match on the card for a start, but that doesn't sound like the biggest main event in the history of the company at the time, which this was billed as 18 months in the making. It's the World Heavyweight Championship. It is someone to finally stop the NWO. And we only get 30 minutes, really. I will give my opinion on the match in a bit, but what did you guys think?
My bias is going to show through. a little bit on this. Intro itself was amazing. I think that was the best part of the match, unfortunately, was the introductions. The match itself, Hogan got a lot in. Hogan got more in than realistically he should have. If like you're presenting Sting as this sort of like anti-hero to go against the villain, he should get a lot more. He should get a lot more in.
Sorry, lads, COVID.
Get 10% off COVID with the code Hot Tag 10. But that's what I mean, though. Like, I didn't see like a sort of face finally giving the villain comeuppance. That's what people paid for in this match.
Far from it.
And you didn't get him. I don't want to talk about the finish. I think Rob's going to talk about that. But yeah, just nowhere near as good as it should have been for the build as well. I love a long build in a match. You give me a story where it's long time investment, it should pay off.
Nothing builds over 18 months these days. Simple as that.
No.
Martin?
Yeah, I've got to agree. It's in terms of build-up, anticipation, it was the biggest thing ever. But then, like I say, it just didn't deliver at all. And it was, I think at the time, maybe you thought like it was acceptable, it was good. But obviously, in hindsight, maybe looking back at it, you're thinking, no, it could have been a lot better, definitely. I mean, like I can put it in comparison to like Hogan obviously won the belt back at some point, but then Goldberg won it back off him like 7 months down the line, July 98, I think he won it off him. Like that was a build up in terms of like nobody can beat Hogan. Goldberg's never getting a chance. That was a build up in his own right. Like Hogan was this undefeated monster. He was never getting a shot. He finally got the shot. But like that reaction and that storytelling was like 10 times better than this, which is a real big shame because Sting deserves a lot more out of that match. Do you know what I mean? That Goldberg Hogan match when he finally beat him in Georgia, that was like perfect. The fucking crowd was on fire. It'll always be spoke about that match, Will. This match is really, really good and it'll always be talked about, but not in the same manner. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I don't know. No. It just didn't. The fans were into it, but it didn't like. I don't know. Something just didn't work.
Is it just, Mark? I'll just ask you this: did it feel like the match never truly got started?
Potentially, yeah. Potentially, there was. Yeah, for me, there wasn't enough drama.
No,
drama in the right way. You know, I always refer to a wrestling show. It's a theatre production. I want to go to a theatre. I want to go to the West End, Broadway. That's what I see a wrestling show as. It's like emotion.
Greatest show.
There you go.
I see it as copyright that one.
And that's what it is. It's a performance. You're seeing people put on a performance in front of your eyes live. That's what it is at the end of the day. And there wasn't enough drama. There wasn't enough, like, I don't know. And then you get Bret Hart chucked in the match as well. For what? Why? I don't know. For this, to reference the screw job.
Let's slow it down.
I'm sure Rob's going to like talk about that.
Let's slow it down and talk about, the bulk of the match first. We will actually break this one down a little bit more. So, like we've said, it was 12 minutes 53 seconds. The match. So what you've said is, I completely agree with. The match didn't really get started after 30 minutes, pretty much. But that was the finish. So Hogan does a lot of work in the crowd. Like he looks like he's at the opener of an independent show in fucking Willingham. Do you know what I mean? That's in the Black Country. If you don't know where that is, guys. I'll use Wolverhampton as an example. You probably know that one. But he's working the crowd. And don't get me wrong, it totally works. The crowd absolutely hate him. And then when Sting finally hits his first move of the match, which is a drop kick. It's out of nothing. It's a drop kick. Hogan powders and starts working the crowd again. Sting looks like a confused Edward Scissorhands. So it's almost like
that's a good reference. I like that.
Thanks. I'll take credit for that one. But it's almost like Sting was expecting more. Like Hogan might have got up and bump and fed a little bit more, or before powdering. The whole premise of this match feels like Hogan just trying to shit on Sting.
Do you think these two went into it like with a finish and that was it? How do you think the match planning went down in this one? Two bets.
So I am going to talk a little bit about the match planning, but carry on, Don, before I do that.
I get a feeling it didn't work for somebody, brother.
And I think you're quite right. And this is from the referee himself as well, where it's come from. So we'll just talk a little bit more about the match before we get into the greatest finish in the world. So fucking hell. Hogan hits a suplex at one point in the match and Sting hops straight back up and he gets an absolutely fantastic reaction, but then it's slowed back down again.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is going on? Like,
see, now bearing in mind as well, we watched a Sting match from a couple of years before this. At this point,
yeah,
Sting was at that point he was flying everywhere.
Yeah,
he looked like the man that had 4 monsters and then 4 lines of coke to wash it down.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, obviously the Stinger splash into the barricade that felt like the big cut off, right? But that was near the end.
Yeah.
So then what happens is, Hogan hits the big boot. He has enough time to pose, not once, not twice, but to 3 sides of the ring before dropping the leg drop. Then he makes the pinfall. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So, these are Nick Patrick's words. Okay. So Nick Patrick says, I had one guy tell me to give it a fast count. I had another guy telling me to give a nice slow count. Each guy is like a top guy. The franchise guy, Hogan and Sting, both were franchise guys. Now we've got 2 guys butting heads and I'm stuck in the middle. I kind of just split the difference and my count was a little bit different than normal. I did a WWE count. It was a little bit faster, but not ridiculously fast. So really, nobody got what they wanted out of the deal. I thought I'm going to get fired, but Eric was just so glad that it was over that he didn't fire me.
That's just Hogan. That's Hogan pulling the strings and being fucking people being scared of what his reaction is going to be. Basically,
why has Hulk Hogan at this point in time, in the biggest build-up in the history of a pay-per-view for WCW, shit-canned Sting?
It's one of them. Is it the fact he felt like he was going to lose out? Like
it's top spot, ain't he? But like I said, it's a top heel, so he's not going to lose his spot. A top heel needs a top face. You know what I mean? You got to be worried about the top heel that's coming behind you, not the top face. You want somebody who you can work off. He's got to work with him there. He hasn't got to put him away.
Exactly.
You can't tell me that at the beginning when they mentioned the idea to Hogan, said, right, we're going to build it to you and Sting, Starrcade 97. 18 months you aren't going to touch. And you're just going to constantly call him out and constantly talk shit on him. You telling me at the end of that, he went, oh, yeah, and I'll be over at the end, right? No way. No fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, he's looking at that going, yeah, and I'll beat him at the end. I'll look really fucking good. No way.
Like, don't forget, this is like I say, months of build-up, and this is including Sting appearing out of nowhere in the rafters, not saying anything.
Yeah.
Just all it is the commentators referencing him. That's it. Nobody's mentioning him. They're just looking at him. This is a long.
In 18 months. He's not had one match in a year
exactly.
and a half.
There's little vignettes of
in a year and a half.
him standing in the rain, all that sort of stuff. Build. He's gone to a dark place. He's not the same person.
Yeah.
You know, people before this, you know, he's the colourful, happy, fan loving, you know,
Yeah.
loud talking Sting. This is the Sting there that don't say nothing. He's down. He's in himself. He's a completely different person.
This is the Sting who saw a film
They've
with
invested a
Brandon
lot.
Lee, and then
Yeah.
I like the look of that kid.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Took a lot of influence from that, but I love that character.
Yeah.
I think we all do it.
But it's because it's the reference is because he's died, but he's come back from the dead and he's come to save and he's come to get revenge. That's where it all come from. But like all of that's so much invested in that, and this was the blow-off match for it. This is the one and only blow-off match. It wasn't a best of three. It wasn't a revenge match, rematch, nothing. It was a one-off blow-off match, and it's just Hogan being a fucking getting his ego in the way again, ain't he?
But this is the thing, though.
Absolutely.
Like, would this match be as memorable if it was a fast count? And the original plan of Nick Patrick does the fast count, would it people have gone, yeah, that was a brilliant match?
No,
I don't think so.
Not in the slightest.
It made the match more infamous, which
Yeah.
sometimes is a good thing, but not in this case.
Yeah, I mean, obviously from there, so after the fast count, or what should have been a fast count, we see Brett stopping Pensa from ringing the bell.
Because that's official.
Pensa's the judge.
So, you know, Brett says, "Not today, brother." And then
Where did
throws
Bret Hart
Hogan.
come from? Was he already out there?
He's got to have been. He's got to have been.
I didn't see him come out though.
He's got to have been out there just for the finish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he definitely would have drew too much attention if they would have, you know.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I can't
pointed
remember
him
him
out
coming
before
out.
that. Yeah. But anyway, he chucks Hogan back in the ring. Then the NWO runs an interference, but it's not the NWO. It's just Norton and fucking Bagwell. What are they going to do? Obviously, Stinger then starts hitting splashes. He basically points at Brett as he's about to apply the sharpshooter, or his version of it, the Scorpion Deathlock. Hogan does not visibly tap out. However, he does shake his head in a yes direction eventually to give up. The bell is then rang at this point, and we do have a new WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Sting, and then the workers from the back, the workers from the crowd. It becomes a big WrestleMania 10 celebration, if you like, where Brett was lifted up. We now got Sting lifted up. Two things about this when we get to the end. Number one, Hacksaw Jim Duggan in a tuxedo waving the USA flag.
Any opportunity.
So, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And then the second thing, and this is the thing that ruined Sting for me. He, in celebration mode,
shows the camera.
Lex Luger's out there and so on and so forth. You've got it. He shouts at the camera, so he speaks, showing over. He shows his old emotion, and I can't make it all out, but I did make out Mama Sita. And basically, that was it. That was the end of the show, and I just sat there scratching my head a little bit, thinking, that wasn't the main event that the build-up deserved. It wasn't the main event that the show promised us. And to be fair, it wasn't the fucking card I expected either.
No. It does feel like they've pulled the wool over your eyes a bit. With 90% of the show.
It's disappointing. That's what it was. It was disappointing.
It wasn't the best by a long shot.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
You filthy animals.
But in the aftermath of this, are you going to go into the aftermath of the Monday Nitro after?
Go for it. Leave it on you.
No. So on the Monday Nitro, Sting gets stripped of the championship because nobody won, because Hogan should have won first and Sting won second, blah, blah, blah. Politics, it don't work for me, brother, as you might say. And then a rematch was booked for Super Brawl, which Scott Hall claimed that he was going to get the winner of. But spoiler alert, he didn't. It was a rematch of Hogan versus Sting, and Sting won clean, and he took the belt.
Yeah.
And then I think probably a few weeks, a month after,
the next night on Nitro.
Hogan obviously took the belt back, obviously.
No,
it
was Savage.
Was it Savage? But
Savage
Hogan had
took the belt at Spring Stampede in '98.
Yeah.
So he held it till April.
Yeah.
So not as on my
Hogan had it back.
I'm so glad you two are here for this, because I couldn't go into any of this for people. So thank you.
So it's all this big celebration, this big build up, this big payoff.
Yeah.
Got stripped of him the next night on Nitro.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocking. I gave the match 2 stars, and I think I've been really, really generous there.
I'm going to give it 1.5 stars, and that's just most of that is because of the entrance of Sting. Just a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
massively missed opportunity. But
I think a 2 stars is a lot for me. And I think this is out of like Sting's all mysterious like entrance music. He's got obviously got an AEW one now as well.
Yeah,
but like I think this is my favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite one of his entrance, his music's. Is this one?
This one with like the little girl talking at the beginning as well. It felt very. You could definitely tell there was a tip of the hat towards the Crow.
Yeah, if
you're a fan of the Crow, so it's sort of that for me. It's like another nostalgia. So it's like a nostalgia sandwich. So personally, I love this. I love this music. But,
it was great.
Disappointed then.
Big Dave, give it 1.25 star. If we're rating the entire show, so the whole show, Starrcade 1997, where do you land, Dan?
2.
Mart?
3.
I'll go in the middle, 2.5.
Get off the fucking fence.
1 star. No. I will go 1.5 star though. In all seriousness, I'm not quite at 2 stars. Anything you want to say to the people before we leave, guys?
Happy Christmas, motherfuckers. Well, obviously we're filming this like 3 weeks before Christmas, but enjoy your Christmas. Be safe.
Gives Martin enough editing time.
There you go.
Merry Christmas, Martin.
Merry Christmas, fuckers.
So that has been our review of WCW Starrcade 1997. Thank you for voting. Thank you for watching. Have a great Christmas. Have a wonderful New Year. Next time round in January, we are going to do a special event. We're going to throw some choices out there for you to vote. It is January, and obviously that can only mean one thing in WWE or the World Wrestling Federation, and that is the Royal Rumble, baby. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hopefully 2021 is a lot better than how this year turned out. I am Rob Campbell alongside
Dan Cornfield.
Jobber number 2.
That's all I got to say about that. Until next time. See you later.